look at some of the Kurds, as you know, that's a natural enemy of Turkey. Specifically, as I said, I mean, they have natural enemies. They've been fighting each other for, somebody said today, hundreds of years. I mean, one historian said they've been fighting for hundreds of years.
U.S. pulls out and Turkey gets in to formally launch its third conventional invasion of Syria earlier this week under the name Operation Peace Spring, after the so-called peace corridor that it earlier tried to jointly establish with the U.S. failed to remove the YPG, who Ankara regards as terrorists, from the borderland region. This was by no fault of Turkey's own but was entirely the result of the U.S. not fulfilling the promise that it made to its nominal NATO ally, which in turn triggered the ongoing operation. Many observers have interpreted Trump's decision to withdraw American troops from the conflict zone, but not all of Syria, as signaling his approval of Turkey's military advance, though that's not necessarily the case since his administration quickly responded by threatening punitive measures against Ankara immediately afterwards. In fact, it appears as though Trump sprung a trap on Turkey by provoking it to launch another conventional invasion of Syria in order to then have the pretext for imposing multilateral pressure upon it as punishment for what's really America's anger at its S-400 purchase. The international media has responded to Turkey aggression by declaring it as an invasion. But Turkey has threatened Europe to stop defaming Operation Peace Spring, otherwise 3.6 million Syrian refugees will be sent to them. Well, the refugee crisis has much to do with Turkey interference in Syria by allowing ISL free passage. Europe and West are not the only bad guys responsible for the worst immigration crisis. A U.S. journalist, Serena Shim, was assassinated by Turkey because she gathered some classified information regarding Turkey's role in support of ISL, but, before the publishing of report, she was brutally murdered by authorities in Turkey. U.S. kept silent over her criminal murder to keep the matter off the record. According to Turkish media report, more than 400 terrorists belonging to YPG and SDF were eliminated. Ankara want to create a so-called safe zone stretching 32 kilometers into bordering Syria's northeastern region. SDF smelled betrayal of an ally and called U.S. troops withdrawal breakup of their promise. But the question is, did U.S. really promise anything to them?
Donald Trump announced that we are withdrawing all of our troops from Syria, and this left many people wondering what is going to happen to the Kurds. Let's talk about what this means for the Kurds. Are we betraying our allies? Should we or should we not be exiting Syria? Was this abrupt? But guess what? This wasn't abrupt. This is the time to leave, because the announcement was actually made in December. Now, the other big question people have is, what about the Kurds? Are we abandoning the Kurds? They're our allies. We made a deal with the Kurds. The Kurds, the only deal we made with them was they were fighting ISIS. ISIS had invaded their territory in Syria. They were fighting them with or without us. So we did not recruit them into this battle. We did not coerce them into it. We didn't say, hey, come fight for us. That's not how that went down. They were already fighting ISIS. ISIS was in their land. ISIS was taking over their villages. So they were fighting ISIS with or without us. We showed up and said, we can help. And they said, great. How? And we said, we'll give you arms. We'll train you. We'll try to make things a little bit more cohesive and organized. And they said, yes, that's great. Cool. Let's do it. So that's the agreement we made. We did not make any other agreements beyond that. We didn't say, okay, now you're our allies. We'll protect you. That was never part of the deal.